In today's video, we talk about my top 5 supplements. What's going on, guys? This is Paul Ravello from ProPhysique.com, and I've got a new video topic today. Kind of going backwards in my video topics and just looking at some of the basic questions and basic things that I've not put on my channel in the past. And one of the most basic questions when you start getting into training and nutrition and recovery, and you have some goals like putting on muscle, losing body fat, getting yourself into a better body composition, one of the first questions that everyone asks is, what supplements should I take? Well, I've got some thoughts on the topic, so let's discuss them. Let's just actually talk about what supplements are and what they are used for. What often gets overlooked is the term supplement or supplementation. This should not be taking the place of a good diet and nutrition program. You see, almost any good supplement is just going to fill in the gaps of things that could be or might be missing based on your lifestyle, your nutrition, or perhaps how hard you train. And because of that, you don't get what you need. You should not start with supplements before you get into a good routine and you get your diet in order. It will not replace it. Some supplements will make your nutrition habits a little easier, and most of the supplements that I want to talk about today are going to improve your ability to train and recover. That's where we get the biggest bang for our buck when it comes to supplements. And you might be disappointed to know that there's not that many supplements that I'm going to recommend today. You see, being around very smart people, people that study supplements, people that study the effects, people that actually do research, and by research I don't mean going on Google and typing in creatine. I mean going into a setting where you're actually giving supplements and giving a placebo, doing experiments, doing training, doing testing, and finding out what is efficacious and what is worthless. That's the type of research that I'm talking about. I have friends that do this. I have made a lot of connections over the last few years, and so unfortunately, the more I have learned, the less faith I have had in supplements. And so, with that said, if you're not already bummed out, let's talk about my top 5 supplements that I recommend, and I'll go through them in no particular order. I'm not going to give you a top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm just going to give you 5 supplements that I recommend. I'll also talk about a few others, and I would also like to mention, if you didn't already know this, I represent a supplement brand called Core Nutritionals. So does that mean this information is biased? Take it for what it's worth. Do I care if you use supplements? I don't care. This isn't about me telling you to do something or not do something. This is about giving you information, and you can choose whether or not you want to invest money, invest time, and purchase supplements to use in your training program. Do I use supplements? Yes, I do use supplements, and I do believe in them. And even if I was not associated with Core Nutritionals, those are the supplements I would use. I don't want to get too deep off topic. Let's just start with the 5 supplements I recommend and why. Alright guys, so if our goal is to go in the gym and recover and build muscle and look better and feel better, well, nutrition is going to play a major role in that. And one of the most difficult parts of nutrition is getting enough protein intake. Protein requires a lot of prep. You have to cook it, you have to store it. And so whey protein is going to be the first supplement I recommend, and it might not even be a supplement for some people. Some people might actually just consider it a food because whey protein is derived from milk, and therefore it actually is a food. But the way it's prepared and put into a bottle so that it's easy accessible for us, we can just put it in some water, shake it up, and drink it. That makes it very valuable. See, chicken and turkey and the poultry and meats that we use are going to be difficult to have access to unless you have gone to the store, cooked it, or purchased it and kept it refrigerated. Whey protein travels easy, it's easy to use, and if you want to talk about caloric bang for your buck, you're not going to get anything better than whey protein. Here's why. When we talk about the quality of protein sources, leucine content is a very important aspect. Some of the highest foods with leucine content, such as egg whites, chicken, poultry, things like that, have a lower leucine content than whey protein. So we're talking about high leucine content. We're also talking about very high protein content per calories. Most whey proteins are only going to have a gram or two of carbs and a gram or two of fats to go along with, say, 20 to 25 grams of protein. Now, not everyone can consume whey protein depending on your digestive abilities, so therefore you should experiment. If whey protein is not good for you, if a concentrate is not good for you, then maybe you don't use a blend, maybe you use whey isolate. There are options out there, but for the first supplement that I recommend when you're getting started with a nutrition plan is a whey protein. The second supplement that I want to talk about is probably the most well-known supplement in the supplement world. I still see stories in the news of how it's the devil and it shouldn't be used. But creatine monohydrate, and that's the only one I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about the other options. I believe the supplement industry realized that creatine monohydrate is very cheap and very easy to make, and therefore they simply come out with new versions of it every couple months and profess that it digests better, that it acts differently. That's fine. If you want to use a different form of it, that's fine. All of the research has been done on creatine monohydrate. It's very inexpensive and it's very effective. I recommend for men to take 5 grams a day and for women to take 3 grams a day. Now, how does creatine monohydrate work? Creatine saturates your muscle cells. So when you hear people talk about a loading phase, what they're actually doing is they're ingesting more creatine in a single day to saturate the muscles quicker. Yes, this does work. It does help saturate the muscles quicker, but it only happens by a few days. After you've been taking a maintenance dose for several days, maybe a week, you will have successfully saturated your cells. Some people notice digestive distress when using the loading phase. So it might be easier for you to do 5 grams a day, and for females that are a lighter body weight, 3 grams a day, and you will get all you need. Now, creatine actually is in a lot of red meats, and a lot of people choose not to eat red meat. Therefore, if your diet is very low in red meat, I would suggest you might try creatine monohydrate. I had a client last year, vegetarian. He started taking creatine monohydrate, gained 5 to 6 pounds in a single week. I'm sure he was a hyper responder. He was a male bodybuilder, close to 200 pounds, and he got fantastic results from it. Can't promise those kind of results for anybody else, but simply the fact that he had probably no red meat in his diet, and he started supplementing with something. Now remember, he was supplementing because it was missing from his diet. So, something to take into consideration. The next supplement that I want to talk about might not even be thought of as a sports nutrition supplement. You see, a lot of us use it to get through our days. We wake up and we have a cup of joe, and then around lunchtime we have a couple diet sodas or some sodas, and before we go to the gym we might have a Monster. Caffeine is very powerful. Lots of positive research, lots of research showing the benefits. And so the third supplement that I want to talk about is caffeine, and we can also pair that with a couple products. So caffeine is highly used in pre-workouts. It's also highly used in fat burners. So let's talk about those two categories, because I don't want to just tell you to use caffeine because we all know that has benefits. Pre-workouts are no longer just about being stimulant punches to the face where you get this crazy buzz and you're crazy and then you have this huge crash. The supplements that are out now, the pre-workouts in particular, are fantastic. That is because they have introduced a new type of pre-workout stimulant, not just caffeine, but nootropics. Nootropics actually work in conjunction with your brain, and they allow you to have things like fatigue resistance, improved focus, mental clarity. I myself notice a huge difference when I get to a low body fat level and I take a pre-workout which has some high quality nootropics. The benefit, the true benefit that I see for supplements at this point in my life is the impact that they have on my day-to-day life and my day-to-day performance in the gym. By using a supplement like a pre-workout prior to training and getting a better training session, perhaps you push through some pain barriers, perhaps you get some extra volume. Over time, that is going to equal a better physique, a better result. And that's where the power of the pre-workout comes in. It's not magic that you take a pre-workout one day and it's going to change your life. No, it's consistently having better workouts. So that is why I feel that the caffeine and the pre-workout, and specifically the way that they create these pre-workouts now so that you actually have a better experience while you're in the gym. Now, a fat burner, which would also contain a lot of stimulants like caffeine as well as some others, you're going to notice more of a buzz from that. See, fat burners are kind of designed so that they increase thermogenesis. You might even notice you get some sweating going on. Basically, the idea behind a fat burner is that you can burn more fat with doing less, and that's because it increases your body's metabolism. I don't believe that's the real benefit. What I believe the benefit of a fat burner is much like a pre-workout. It allows you to get more out of your day. You see, when calories are low and body fat is low, what tends to happen is we tend to reduce how much we move around. We become more efficient. We make excuses for not getting up off the couch, for not walking around the office, for not playing with our kids. Whatever it will be, you'll notice when you have less energy, you start to change your behaviors. Then you burn less calories throughout the day. Well, a fat burner taken at the right times, maybe in the morning, maybe in the afternoon, certainly not too late at night if you want to get to bed at a good time, a fat burner will help us maintain more activity levels, and that's where I feel they have the most benefit. Now, the fourth supplement I want to talk about is something I never really used until I started competing and dieting down for competitions to get to that ultra lean body fat level, and that is branched chain amino acids. You see, branched chain amino acids are made up of 3 amino acids: leucine, isoleucine, and valine. And the value of a branched chain amino acid is that at a very low calorie, almost null, you're going to be able to extend muscle protein synthesis. And I found a great benefit using these between meals. You can get a similar response based on the research to a large dose of carbohydrates between meals. So if you have a large protein meal and then a long space and another large protein meal, you can extend muscle protein synthesis. You do not want to increase large protein doses because you then get a refractory period. Whereas if you let the normal levels rise and fall, you get a benefit. Well, we can extend the rise of the protein synthesis with branched chain amino acids. The last supplement I want to talk about is something that I have taken on and off for the last couple years, and every time I take it, I just notice a benefit. The first time I was introduced to the Aspartic Acid, there was a couple research studies that came out, and of course they were sensationalized and it was made out to be the next great thing, and it quickly disappeared. But after using it, I did notice a positive change. And the most positive change that I noticed was just my overall well-being, how good I felt. I had this like positive mood all of the time, and my training was great. And I don't know if it was a result of my mood because my training was great, or my training was great because I was in a good mood. But I also noticed some other indicators of male hormone improvement, such as increased libido. I just noticed a denser look to my physique. I noticed I was, getting better pumps in the gym. I had an overall better feeling. I will take it for 6 to 8 weeks at a time, and I will time it specifically based on periods where I feel like it's gonna have the most benefit for me, where my training is gonna be really good, where I'm dieting down and I need a little extra boost. With that said, that's our 5 supplements that I'm gonna talk about today. If you guys have comments or questions below, or think what I'm saying is dumb, let me know below. I will reply to all you guys. If you have other supplements you wanna ask questions about, there's so many supplements out there. There's literally like hundreds. But I don't really worry about too much of that, because when a supplement's really good, It's going to get a lot of research. It's going to get a lot of backing. And there's new supplements coming out all the time that get included in pre-workouts, things like betaine, things like agmatine, you know. So there are new things coming out. Coming from someone who used to run out and get every new Muscle Tech product that promised 11 pounds in 7 days and, you know, 15 pounds of lean body mass in 30 days and all these things, I was the first to run out and buy those. So, nothing wrong with getting excited, you know. Even if it's just a placebo effect of going to the store, getting a supplement, running to the gym, doing your workout and feeling like, man, that workout was better because of that supplement. I have no problem with that. In fact, I get excited about new supplements. Now, I would be amiss if I didn't at least mention my sponsor in the supplements that they provide. Again, you don't have to purchase these supplements. These are just, I'm gonna talk about the ones that I'm the most proud of. And so let's talk about the whey protein. So we talked about whey protein. This is called Core Pro by Whey. They also have a core isolate. The great thing about this supplement, if you want to talk about fantastic macros, 24 grams of protein, 4 grams of carbs, and 2 grams of fat. And this is peanut butter ice cream. And if you get the isolate, there's even less calories from non-protein sources. And the second one I mentioned was creatine monohydrate. Now, this is simply creatine monohydrate in pure form. You don't need anything else. Here's a container of Core ABC, which is the branched chain amino acid product by Core. This is white passion peach. This is my favorite along with the watermelon, but there are many great flavors that come from Core. So again, the flavored amino acids are just gonna be a much more fun option. But if you're looking to save a little money, you can get from Core also the Core commodity. You can get just branched chain amino acid without the flavoring. It'll save you some money, but it will not save you your taste buds. And then finally, everyone's favorite supplement is a pre-workout. This is Core Fury Extreme. This is strawberry colada. This is a fantastic product that I use, and I actually try not to use it sometimes just so it has that extra punch when I need it. On days when I don't feel my best, or on days when I know I really want to go in and crush 2 hours of training nonstop, stay focused, have lots of energy, get a great pump. Core Fury Extreme is what I use. And what's great about Core is we also have a product called Core Pump. You see, Core Pump is a pre-workout based product that gives you all of the things like fatigue resistance and all of the things that are going to improve your workout without any stimulants, because sometimes we work out late at night and we still want to get the benefits of the supplements that allow us to train harder and train longer, but we don't want to be up till 4 in the morning. And then the final product that I talked about today was Aspartic Acid, and the product by Core that contains that is called Core Test. And I'm actually going to be starting that this week for another 4 to 6 week cycle, maybe 8, leading right up to the Arnold. Because when I get to Columbus, I got to train with Doug Miller, and those are going to be some great, intense workouts. Doug is a beast, along with all the other guys that work at Core Nutritionals. Crazy Uncle Carl, Patrick Meaty Thighs, Mabe, Andrew Pardue, all you beasts. Cliff Wilson. We're going to have some fun come Ohio time. But that's it for me today, guys. If you are interested in purchasing any of these supplements, then please go to corenutritionals.com. I have a discount code for you. It is PaulR20. I also have some $100 giveaways coming up when I reach the 10,000 subscriber mark. So I'm going to be giving away four $100 gift certificates for Core Nutritionals products, just because you guys have used my code and it's given me a kickback, and instead of taking that money and keeping it, I'm giving it back to y'all. Anyway, guys, have an awesome rest of your week. I don't think I'll be doing a video tomorrow because I fly to LA, and we are going to be at the LA Fit Expo. If you're interested in seeing me there, come hang out and find me. I will also be at the Santa Monica Promenade on Friday, January 6th at 8 p.m. with my friend and client, Emily Hayden, and my friend and friend, Lane Norton. We're just gonna hang out outside Starbucks in the promenade, shoot the breeze, talk about anything you want to talk about. I'll probably end up taking a lot of pictures for you with Lane and a lot of pictures for you with Emily. Anyway, guys, have an awesome rest of your day and have some great workouts.